Hey everyone, I'm Willie T, and this is Unpopular Opinions. Welcome to episode 2 of the show. Today we are going to be answering a question that was submitted via Facebook. The question is from Jeff, and he wants to know why and how far we've gotten from a centered, everybody's free mentality to an either you agree with me or you're an idiot mentality, both from the left and the right. That is a great question and a hard one to tackle. Why are we so divided between left and right these days, and how the hell did we get here? Let's start with a look at where we are now. According to the Pew Research Center, which is one of the more reliable sources for data, the overall share of Americans who express consistently conservative or consistently liberal opinions has doubled over the past 2 decades from 10% to 21%. And ideological thinking is now much more closely aligned with partisanship than in the past. As a result, ideological overlap between the two parties has diminished. Today, 92% of Republicans are to the right of the median Democrat, and 94% of Democrats are to the left of the median Republican. They include some very interesting graphs, which we'll take a look at here. Where are the graphs? Where are the graphs? Aha, there they are. Now, we only have data from the past 20 years, but 20 years is a pretty significant amount of time. As you can see, the overlap 20 years ago was much more substantial than the blatantly partisan divide that you're seeing today. The article continues, partisan animosity has increased substantially over the same period. In each party, the share with a highly negative view of the opposing party has more than doubled since 1994. Most of these intense partisans believe the opposing party's policies are so misguided that they threaten the nation's well-being. More than doubled in just 20 years. Now, this seems a bit extreme. People holding different views than your own somehow threatens the nation's well-being. I've got to stop doing air quotes. I may be naively optimistic, but I believe that what makes this country great is the diversity of opinion, as I went over in my last video. But why is it that so many Americans feel so threatened by the other side of the aisle? I attribute this to the formation of what many call ideological echo chambers. Let me explain what I mean by echo chambers. Let's try a quick experiment. Take a look at your friends list on Facebook or who you follow on Twitter and make a quick assessment. How many of these people hold the same political views that you do? Is it 50%, 75%, 90%? What does this tell you about the different types of ideas you're exposed to? Can you really consider yourself an open-minded person when you surround yourself with people that all think the same way that you do? If you really want to have fun with this, find someone in your family, perhaps, or if you're lucky, a friend who holds different political ideologies than you do, and take a look at his Facebook list, his news feed. You will be pretty shocked to discover the difference in what you're being exposed to and what they're being exposed to. When we surround ourselves with only the people who share our own political beliefs, it tends to have the effect of making us think that we are right. And as a consequence, this also makes us tend to believe that anyone who thinks differently than we do are wrong. A word I hear a lot to refer to people on the right is xenophobic. But what would you call your own group when you think anyone who thinks differently than you do is not just wrong, but somehow evil, racist, sexist, homophobic, and more? I don't know the answer. I don't know exactly how to solve this problem, but one step I think we can all take in the right direction is to try to understand people who think differently than we do. For every CNN and Huffington Post that you subscribe to, why not also include a Fox News or a Breitbart? It might not change the way you think, and it doesn't have to. That's not the point. The point is to try to understand the other side, to view them as human beings, just like yourself, with opinions and life experiences that are just as valid as your own. It might not change the world overnight, but it sure would go a long way. I'm Willie T. Thanks for watching.